Welcome back, rankers. Now, just a little bit on last week's show. I know I went for too long. Sorry, I'll try to be quick this week. I'll speak really fast. We had a quick discussion about H1s and their importance, and I've always been a big believer in it, and a lot of people out there haven't, but I just want to show you this example. Last week, costumes.com.au, for Australia's best costumes website, was ranking about 7 or 8, okay? After the show, Nathan went and added a H1 just on that phrase alone. Didn't change the formatting, didn't change anything. Today, the following day, in the words of Steve Jobs, boom, number 1, okay? That's a jump of 8 spots on the front page. Is it a competitive phrase? I don't think so. But what if that had been a competitive phrase? What if that had been one of the money phrases? Okay? Just wanted to show you that. And I wanted to get on to a bit of a bugbear of mine. Moving to a new site, changing the site, updating the site to a new look, new feel, new content management system. We've talked about it before, but in the last 10 days, it's been bedlam in here. Because we've had at least 3 clients move to a new site without telling us. We knew they were going live with a new site, but we said, you need to give us about a week before you push the new site live. Then we need another week after the site's live to check everything. And there's a very good reason for this. We did this for David Meerman Scott, and here were the results. David Meerman Scott was when we did this change, he was number 1. He's since dropped to number 3, but that's because Mike Philpe, my nemesis, for marketing speaker, he's a lovely bloke, HubSpot, look him up, is number 2. But we'll be able to get David up to I think, number 1 and 2. I've got a couple of tricks up my sleeve there. But David went to a new site and he didn't lose any rankings. None of the rankings changed at all. New look and feel, whammo. For most clients, or for most sites that we see go to a new site, unfortunately, that isn't the case. What happens is that they lose all their rankings. And there's a very good reason for it. And that is because they don't follow the steps. Now, we have got a lot of steps that we follow when we do this. So for instance, this one here, you can look, this is our site transfer, new site goes live, list of tasks. Did you get all those? I'm not going to go through all of them one by one, but there's some really important ones that you need to do. There's a lot of work that you need to do, but the main ones are this one up here. 301, all your URLs from the old site to the new site in preparation. So you've got to talk to your developer. You've got to make sure your developer knows that the URLs that they have on the staging server, the one that you're looking at before it goes live, you've got to make sure that they're going to be the ones that are going to be in the live environment. They're not just there for show. Then you have to make sure that the old URLs on the current live site are permanently redirected to their new equivalent ones. The other thing you've got to do is to URLs, all those sorts of things. Move your H1s, your H2s, your H3s if you're using them, alt tags, all that sort of stuff. Keyword density, make sure that you've got a similar keyword density on the new site to what you had on the old site. But one of the things that we found this week with one client going live, they had one page which was duplicated, and for one very competitive key phrase. And we said to them, if you go live with this site, that page, that ranking is going to disappear. And they said, no, we need to do it for content reasons. We need to do it because it makes sense for the navigation. Now, that's their call. It's their site. But we had to advise them, say, if you go live in this environment, this is what's going to happen. Sure enough, they went from number 3 or 4 to number 120 overnight when they pushed the new site live. Now, that's just one page duplicated. That is Panda, okay? So if you've got pages duplicated all over your site, that's going to affect your rankings. So you can't do it. So what we're going to do now, what one of the guys in here suggested was like, okay, why don't we just tell Google that really this page is just a different version or different version of this page over here. So that's what we're doing, and their rankings will probably come back. The other things that are important here, there's a lot of things that are important, but the most important thing is, Andrea, I'm talking to you, don't go live on a Friday night with a new site, please. For the sake of your own sanity, for the sake of your web developers' sanity, and especially for the sake of your SEO's sanity. Because what happens is, inevitably, or invariably, the site is pushed live, and in the case of one client, Andrea, their site was pushed live, and what happened is that all the URLs inside the site that was pushed live were all pointing to the staging server. So we had the new site live at the real domain, but every time you clicked on a link, it took you back to the staging server. In case you don't know, that's really bad. The reason for that is because, as far as you're concerned, you only have one page now on your website, and that's your home page. Everything else is gone. It's all over there at the staging server. So you have your staging server possibly ranking for the keywords you were ranking for before, and you have no content. So on that Friday night, when they went live, at 6 o'clock, when no one's here to fix it, that's why you don't go live on a Friday night, okay? Because if something goes wrong, there's no one there to fix it over the weekend. We got on the phone to the owner of the site, got on the phone to the developers. By 10 o'clock at night, it had pretty much been fixed. But then another site just went live, and this one, Liam, I'm talking to you, has some fantastic rankings. It has, and I find this unbelievable, it has spots 1 to 8 for one particular key phrase. This is one site. For one particular competitive key phrase, they hold the top 8 spots, okay? We got them there. It took us probably about 8 months to do that, but we got them there. Now, the new site went live. They told us after the fact. We found out, we told them not to go live with the new site, went live. I don't know what the internal business decisions were for that. They're probably really good. I don't know. So we have to now work frantically through all of these tasks to make sure that we get Google looking at the site in a way that it saw the old site. So things don't change that much. They change the look and feel for the user and all those sorts of things, but essentially the old site's rankings just carry through to the new site. Okay, and that's the way it should be. Now, if we catch these things in time, and we've got a couple of weeks to work on it and work through all these tasks, and then what we do is we apply what we call the new site first aid package, which is another set of tasks, which is down here. And they basically look at, okay, let's go and test all these things. Let's go and run a crawler over the new site now that it's live. And let's go and have a look and see what Google's seeing. Let's see if any errors are popping up in Google Webmaster Tools that we haven't picked up, and let's knock those on the head straight away. And these are all the things that you should do before going live with a new site. Now, of course, with an e-commerce site, it's even more important because you have the potential of not only losing traffic, but losing a lot of revenue if you don't do this properly. So for a large e-commerce site, you're going to need more than 2 weeks, because if you've got hundreds or thousands of products, it takes a little bit longer to examine all of these things. So when you're going for a new site, you're putting it up live, speak to your SEO company, okay? Speak to whoever is doing your SEO, or please let us get involved. I don't usually do sales promos on this show, and I'm not going to start today, but you need to get someone involved when you're pushing live to a new site that understands what has to happen, where your rankings are currently. You need to know, you need to take a benchmark. You need to have some software out there that just benchmarks where your key phrases are today, so that then when you go live tomorrow, if it drops 1 or 2 spots across the board, there's an issue, all right? If you see 1 or 2 drop, maybe not much of an issue. But if everything drops 2, 3 spots across the board, then there's something wrong, okay? And you need to get onto it. Hopefully, you've got your SEO company involved before that point, and the rankings are going to, there's absolutely not even a blip in change. The third site that is, well, they didn't go live. We stopped them in time. We put the brakes on it. What they did, not them, the developer, they went live, or about to go live, with a new content management system or a new site. Looks gorgeous, looks beautiful, excellent user experience, just lovely. However, they've used a design technique which is for mobile users and for desktop users. And the technique involves putting different menus in for mobile users and different menus in for desktop users, all in the one page of code. Now, the user doesn't see this. The user just goes to the site and bang, beautiful. If I'm on mobile, yes, gorgeous. If I'm not on mobile, if I'm desktop, yep, great. However, when Google comes along, it sees two sets of menus for every page, and it sees double pages. So essentially, it will see the whole site duplicated on itself. That's a real big panda signal, and that site will lose its rankings across the board. Now, as I said, we've seen that just this week with one page that was duplicated on a site. Bang. Panda, big thump. Don't do it. Get your SEO company involved. Give us a call. 0385 00. No, it's not. What's our phone number? 8545 5900. See, I'm not even used to giving that out. 038545 5900. And that is it for this week's show. Stay safe. See you next week.